Asociados, so we're back for examples about hyperbola. We have example number 1. Given the equation of the hyperbola, determine the coordinates of the following. So we have the center, the vertices, co-vertices, foci, asymptotes, transverse axis, conjugate axis, and the graph. So we have example number 1 given is x squared over 16 minus y squared over 9 equals 1. Now, look that it takes the form x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared equals 1. So we'll follow the different definition that we have discussed a while ago. Okay, so since it's in the form x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared equals 1, we know that the center, or C, point C, is at the origin 0, 0. The next thing that we have to find is the value of A. And then next to that is the value of B and then C. So let's look at the given again. We know that we have x squared over a squared. So the denominator of x squared is a squared, that is 16. So a squared equals 16. To find a, we need to get the square root of both sides. We have, cancel, a is equal to, the square root of 16 is 4. And then we also have b squared on the equation, that is the denominator of y squared. So we have here 9. Therefore, b squared equals 9. Get the square root of both sides, we have to cancel this. Then b is equal to the square root of 9, which is 3. Okay, looking back to the equation, we have it in the form x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared equals 1. X comes first before y, therefore the transverse axis is horizontal. That means to say the vertices are on the x-axis. So we'll get the vertices from the value of a. So we have v sub 1 and v sub 2. That would be negative 4, 0, because it's on the x-axis. And the other one, positive 4, 0. Now, we'll use b to get the co-vertices. The co-vertices are on the y-axis. So we have 0, negative 3, and w sub 2, we have 0, positive 3. Take note, they are opposite. The vertices are on the x-axis while the co-vertices are on the y-axis. That is, if the graph is horizontal or if the transverse axis is horizontal. Let's now solve for the value of c. You might get confused because last time when we tried to get the value of c on the ellipse, we use minus here. But this time it's a different formula. So we'll use the square root of a squared plus b squared. Let's substitute. A squared is 16. And b squared is 9. Simplify. 16 plus 9 is 25, so we have the square root of 25. Get the square root of 25, that is 5. Since c is equal to 5, that means our foci, f sub 1 and f sub 2 is negative 5, 0, and the other one is 5, 0. So again, the vertices, the foci, are both on the x-axis if the transverse axis is horizontal. So we have two equations for the asymptotes. First is y equals positive b over ax. The other one is negative b over ax. What we'll do is just substitute. So we have here b, which is 3, meaning we have y equals, let's write first the positive. So 3 over a is 4. 3 over 4 x, or 3/4 x. And then the other equation would be y equals negative 3 over 4, or 3/4 x. Okay, if you're ever wondering why this is b over ax or y equals b over ax, it's because remember that b is a distance along the y-axis and a is a distance along the x-axis. So take note that the slope is rise over run, and this actually forms two straight lines, two straight intersecting lines. So we take the rise over run, or y vertical over x horizontal. So now let's solve for the length of the transverse axis, which is 2a, and we already have the value for a, that is 4. So we just multiply 2 times 4. Therefore, the length of the transverse axis is 8 units. And then for the last one, we have the conjugate axis, that is 2b. So that is 2b. So substitute 2 times b is 3. 2 times 3, that is 6 units. So now look at the graph of the hyperbola with the equation x squared over 16 minus y squared over 9 equals 1.